Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown as always. I never do this alone. Hi, ladies.
Morning.
Maria, thank you. Thank you very much.
Survived the trip.
Don't mind the windshields. They wanted to.
How was it?
It was nice. It was nice.
Like?
It was a pilot Cater took us, and I can't remember the name of the other pilot bringing us back. It was nice. It was a smooth flight. Okay, cool. I like turbulence actually. I like when you're in the plane. So we had quite a bit of
tongues. Were you praying?
No, actually, yeah. But I trusted God would sort it out. So I didn't even bother, you know. I'm not one of those kabashing in the planes. I just trusted that God would sort it out. So when I landed, I said, Holy Spirit, I thank you.
Oh God.
So I went to Abuja yesterday and I saw our Abuja office. Beautiful.
Are you kidding?
Lots of people said I say hello to you guys.
We
at
love
the airport,
you.
in the minister's office. Lots of people said hello. So please say hello to all the people that said.
Everyone that greeted us through Mariah, we're greeting you back.
But it was nice. It was just nice. I got some kilishi. I couldn't get as much kilishi as I would have loved to, but just got a little bit. You guys are not interested now. I got it for my people.
Seriously?
She said her people. We are your people.
I don't understand.
You are,
I'm already brewing for a fight. I'm getting ready for a fight.
People be production.
So you want,
Oh,
right?
we're waiting for you.
That one you shared, is it everything?
No.
Okay.
That was just over the makeup.
I don't want to lose my 10 pounds.
Yeah, no. Let's go on a break. It's
So you're not doing
Friday.
anything this weekend? It's Friday.
Honestly, I've been away a whole day without my baby. Like yesterday. I was so full. In the cabin, I was actually pumping in the cabin. The air hostess was wondering, like, what's that woman doing? I said, you know what? I have a 6-week-old baby. Immediately she understood. So I was
But
really,
people don't understand. You actually have a 6-week-old baby.
Yeah.
Don't look it.
You really?
So I was really expressing, and it was calling me. I won't call me. How do you say that?
I don't know.
I don't know how to say it in English. No, that's not that.
It
Call me.
Sad.
How do you say
Do you
like
want
that's
me to
an
pay for?
Instagram thing we should post.
Yeah,
How do you
how
say
do you say-
call me in English?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll check the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Let's start with the punch, as usual. 9th National Assembly deft moves begin over Senate's presidency. APC senators elect one Buhari on zoning. Picture again of the Lagos collapse building. I lost one child, another critically injured, says mother. We'll take that story, I think, we'll take it in New Telegraph. It was a really pathetic story there. INEC panel to submit report on Bauchi inconclusive poll today. 400 travel agencies operating without licenses. Police arrest 4 more suspects for Oyo Rep murder. Ekiti electricity law prescribes 2-year jail term for vandals. And Nigeria's HIV/AIDS prevalence rate drops 1.4%. So the 400 travel agencies,
I have this story.
they don't have licenses.
They don't have, the Nigerian Civil Aviation is saying that they do not have licenses. It's out of the 600 that have been that is in the book. It's only 157 that is actually registered.
Wow.
And we should try as much as possible to use those agencies that have license. But the thing is, how do we know the travel agencies that have license? Because you just call up a travel agent when you're traveling and you really don't verify. Do you have a license? How do we verify that?
It should be on a website that we should go to know.
400 out of 600 haven't registered, then they should check the registration process. I'm not saying it is right that those people didn't register, but if you go through a process and you realize that you can check how efficient that process is and maybe optimize it so that it is easier for people to register.
Figure
the number out.
Get that number. I was going to take a story concerning, I think I missed that story. Yeah, the major headline, 9th Assembly. There's now lobbying going on because they're saying that at the 8th Assembly, the president wasn't so, he wasn't
Yeah, I got this.
direct.
Yeah.
on
So I got
who
the
and who,
story,
yeah.
yeah. So the
Get the story.
APC senators elect now, they're the majority, there are 65 of them, the reps, in the House of Reps, there are about 211, so they're definitely the majority in the House, and they're saying to the president he should not sit on the fence this time around because the way it happened the other time.
It's painful seeing my son in critical condition, cries the mother. And that story here, wedding chairman wife die after eating takeaway food. So let's go back to the Lagos building collapse. I I had a woman that actually drank cyanide, a sniper. Because she lost 2 of her children.
Yeah, so she has she lost a 6-year-old and her 4-year-old in the collapse. And they said that when the story was brought to them, she just quietly went out.
Hey.
And next thing, no one knew until they saw her. She had gone, she bought sniper, and she took it and she just went
off, and that was it.
It's so painful.
Another family is saying that they're extorting them in the hospitals. Although the Lagos State government has said that that they'll cover the bills of all the care being given. Yes, let Mariam finish the report.
Yes, parents of survivors are saying that the workers are asking them to pay for medicines, for gloves and things like that, even though the government has said that they'll take care of the bills. So I think the government needs to step in quickly now.
The processing, that's why I wanted to come in that. General, because I read the story, General Hospital structure, usually they don't have stuff on ground.
They don't.
Your gloves, you have to go buy them.
You
So
buy them yourself.
if the governor has said they would pay for these things, who is going to buy the one they need to use now? So there needs to be more proactive measures. So supply them, give them the funds up front so they have like a float to buy these things. If not, they need buy and keep it there because they need the syringes, they need the
and that's where the medical director needs to come in to let the government know exactly what they need per time so that they can provide these things for them.
Quick one, back to the story of the woman that committed suicide. The thing is, I already feared this yesterday before this happened. And there are many other families that had multiple fatality, these children that have, and they should be given quick psychological help. We shouldn't just take it for granted that churches or prayer would help them. They need psychological help to help them go through this period of grieving without committing suicide.
Interesting. None of our life coaches have shown up at this point. I mean, usually it's always for
to be fair, a lot of people are still, shocked by the event. So we're still trying to see how we can take people out and make sure.
This is where we need life coaches. They need to come
take
in.
Take them to where? That's another thing. There's no organization, there's no shelter to keep them because they're supposed to be taken away.
They could go to the hospital.
Another mother was crying that it's so difficult seeing her child in critical condition. That's even more painful. If your child died, you begin to grieve. When you see the child suffer, that's a whole different
A mother who lost 2 kids, then the other child broke his leg as well.
You see, this is a very painful conversation to have because these are children. And I'm even tired of having this conversation because several buildings have collapsed in Lagos State. And we keep saying, government, should look into it, what is being done. And there are lots of buildings that have been marked for demolition.
They've been marked.
Why are they not still being
Mariah,
demolished?
they said that the statement from the Lagos State was that the landlords and owners of these buildings are not cooperating. And yesterday I mentioned Nolly Juice. Once again, I'll mention it because we've had corporate buildings with non-cooperative landlords broken down. So when this is a building that will put lives, and those buildings were good structure, just on the fringe of the law, that they were not complying with the laws, and you break them down. Those that are going to put lives in danger, break it immediately, regardless of if they want to or not.
Another couple that died.
Yeah, so this couple in Abia State, they went for a wedding ceremony. The husband and the wife were the chairman in the wedding. So after the wedding, they packed a takeaway for them, only for them to get home, eat it with their housemaid, and then died. The housemaid survived because neighbors were able to get... Yeah, she's in critical condition. So they are hoping that when she's okay, she may be able to explain what really happened. And aside from that, they are going to run an autopsy to ascertain if it was poisoning.
Governor Ajimobi is advising the new governor-elect of Oyo State. Please, Mariam, you have that story.
Yes, I do.
Tell us what Governor Ajimobi is telling the new
governor-elect, Seyi Makinde, went to visit him and he's advising him. And I really love what he says here. He says Governor Ajimobi, we will be available to you should you need advice. In areas we have done well, improve on it. And in areas we have not done well, look at those areas and make improvements. And he also said, above all, beware of praise singers. Some people will tell you that you must do this and that. Avoid acrimony, as it is always better to leverage on relationship than destroy relationship, and focus on the job.
Governor-elect.
So many good advice.
No, it's not even that. Governor-elect. You had better listen to that advice.
I'm telling you.
The man, in Lokalomo, he knows, he has gone through the experience, and he's telling you exactly what he went through. So if you like, what they call it, it's MLU, whatever. You better listen to that.
But I think it's really
So we're done, right?
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, there's so many gists on social media. We'll start with one of them. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So somebody said being a good girl takes you nowhere, and that men love bad girls. People wonder why all their bad girls are in very loving relationships, and our church-going Sister Mary is still very single, believing God for our fruit of our bit, the bone of our bone. So that's our conversation today. You can join the conversation 070-806-68014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. All right, this is an interesting conversation because, and I hope YK is watching, because she was the one talking about hair matter. I'll connect the hair matter into this.
Oh God,
because,
not today.
Listen, why I know somebody. I mean, I didn't know her runs lifestyle, but I heard she was the #1 runs girl in particular university. I won't mention the name. I know the girl. She's hot, pretty, and people used to talk about her a lot. This girl is gonna marry the son of one correct Olowo man. The wedding shut down Lagos. Me, I went to the wedding. I was there. So I was just watching. Hey. And while she was walking down the aisle, her friends like, so like she had an abortion, like 4 abortions for somebody. She did this. They used to carry her to Dubai for. I mean, this is somebody correct first class runs girl. And she was walking down the aisle. And the ones that are gossiping, they never get ring. So why is this happening? I mean, what's going on? Have we been advised wrongly to be holy and believe God and dress moderately and, you know, and be very naturalista? Don't do ribbon, you know, don't do hair.
Okay.
Let me let you go.
Yes. First of all, I think it's a myth that...
Oh, it's a myth?
Yes,
okay.
that bad girls get married and the good girls are at home not getting married. The only thing that makes it seem that way is the lifestyle of a bad girl. That's open for all sorts of interpretation, you know, but is that she's out there. So she's seen. So, of course, whatever happens with her, everybody knows her story.
But the men want a woman who is seen.
So,
the men want a woman who is seen.
well,
they want a woman who's out there, who people that admire.
Men want different things. So the ones at home too are getting married, but because we don't see them, we don't hear their story, we think that they are not getting married or they're not in loving relationships.
Right.
But the thing about someone who is out there is that whatever happens with them, if something flies around their head, oh, you know, you notice. So that is it.
Let me come to our life coach here.
It is not a myth. But I would say that we have defined bad in different ways. So you have a child who's hanging out with another child who's always hanging out, a girl who's always hanging out with boys. The parents say, don't play with that child, don't go with that child, or she's always with boys and all of that. So we call those sort of girls bad girls, in quotes. Like she said, you can have different interpretations for it. But it is not a myth, because the bad girls that society has tagged bad, they are smart, they are outgoing, they know the right places to meet the right men.
Review the myth that she gave us now. Because young girls are watching TV, and they are there. Some of them are just following their mommy and daddy to church.
There's still plenty myths. There's still plenty myths.
I'm trying to get that myth. Okay. Very sure that people in the house get that.
Okay.
They are following grandma and mommy to church every day. Abi? They are like 25, 26.
Yes.
There's another one, their counterpart in the club, hanging out, looking good.
Not necessarily
so what you are saying now, you that are following grandma and Kiniko to church.
You're not mingling.
You are not mingling, and you will be able to know men.
Yes,
but you that you go to nightclub, you will see different kinds of men.
Yes.
I know the right one.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
We don't agree, but we'll come back to you.
It has worked.
I agree to an extent what you said, that it makes a lot of sense. However, I think that naturally opposite attracts. So you end up finding the good girls being married to bad guys, and then you end up finding the bad guys marrying to good girls. It's opposite. So a typical good girl that has always been good would find that adventure in that bad guy attractive. She doesn't get it that I don't want this long term, but it's exciting. So
that excitement,
you know, that excitement to be shocking them, and then they get trapped, and then they fall in love. You see most women that go through, and it is terrible, issues of battery and all of that. They are good girls.
Good women.
They are the ones that they have been
because
good all their life.
Because those men cannot try, because girls are sharp.
So they've been good. So the excitement of the bad girl, of the bad guy catches them, and then they are hooked. Then they'll feel like he loves me. It's just that he likes slapping me, but he loves me, and he's so caring. Oh, he's good in bed. Oh, it's just that when he gets a bit rough. So they've excused all those things. Same thing with the good guy. The good guy always being a good guy, then he just samples one bad girl.
His life.
So
not the same
extremes of both sides, bad. we need to be able to find the balance in relationship, because if you're on one side, you're tilted and you're likely to end up
So my question now is, so the good girls who are okay, they're now
watching
35. They've been good for a long time. Should they now just turn bad and just say, you know what, listen, I have been doing Holy Mary for too long. It's time for me to get a weave.
You'll be shocked.
Get a weave, get a stilettos, you know,
And
go out and do something. Dump shots. Hey, I mean, is that what we're saying?
I think we should just take time and understand men. From the Bible days to men have always been moved with what they are attracted to what. No, hold on now, hold on.
Men like what they see.
No, I'm telling you from experience, darling. I am telling you from experience. I know what I'm saying. So, you know. So, as I was saying, they like, a lot of women, they don't like to get it easy. It's not, yes, no, men, they don't like an easy woman. You know, I know that I can easily access you. And then women, a lot of women, you know, put themselves in a position where they are not exciting. Okay, I'm just, okay.
I don't understand anything I say. Please,
I don't know how to explain it anymore.
Yes, let me tell you, see, people like different things. Right. Let's put it out there. And then there's, I think the first thing we need to also understand is that who is a bad girl and who is a good girl. Because I know some very fly, intelligent good girls. They go to church, they understand the relationship, they are not socially awkward, but they're good girls.
They're married.
Yes.
Those
because they have wigs and...
No, that's not what we're saying.
So who is a bad girl?
Okay, I'll come to... I think I'd like to answer that question. Let me take this call. Are they doing... Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. Ryan.
Can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. We need to be objective here. First and foremost, you're supposed to give me my card. But all the same.
Clap.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show.
First time caller. You didn't tell us. Okay, welcome to the show. Right. We didn't hear you very well.
This discussion you are discussing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Most bad girls, they have this mindset that, okay, the society does not... Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We have to cut you off. Sorry,
You're listening to your
so,
TV.
They have this mindset that, okay, the society does not want them, you understand? So they go all out there to do whatever they want to do to get a man, which most times, most guys they are not always street boys, or like a street boy that will get a good girl, you understand? So it's not always like, but the bad girls or the good girls do not get good guys, you understand?
Okay.
It's all,
all right, let me. You said something.
Yes,
The girl, that person. I'm not gonna answer it, but there's a point I wanted to make. There's a girl that you say goes to church, fly, pretty, hot. Yes. She goes to church, she goes to the club, she's in between, she does both. That person doesn't get my husband.
There's an analysis my husband gave. He said that when he was in school, you see those very innocent girls. When you toast them, you just give them attention for like 1 week, 2 weeks max. You get in.
Yes.
He said, but you see those bad ones that they meet, they come and meet like,
2 years,
oh my darling, how you doing? He said, when you talk to them, they say, I know where you go. Don't try them. Because they have a clear idea of what men want. So they are friendly with you, but they know they have the boundary. They will hug you. Those ones that don't hug you, those ones that will be like, please, Mother Mary, when you touch their button, they just fall because they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable to that care and attention. I'm in the place where I feel that we need to raise, because we don't want to just talk around. We need to raise our women.
Let me pause you. I'm going to bring in our celebrity guest. He has to join this conversation.
He's a man. What does he want?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So he is a famous Nigerian comedian, television host, master of ceremony, actor, and a television personality. He has been described as the king of comedy in Nigeria and currently the founding father of Nigerian comedy industry. He recently celebrated 30 years on stage and is still very relevant in different awards. And his name is, as you know, popularly known as Alibaba in the building. You can join the conversation 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So you've been hearing our conversation on this issue of good girl, bad girl. And I also remember when I was in university, I was a good girl. I mean, I did a few bad things. Before I became bad, in my first year, first and second year, I was still, the Nigerian spirit was still inside me, so I was still very, very good. And I was dating a guy. We had a car accident after a while. I had a skull fracture. But my brother and I saw the guy I was dating. And he was like, Mariah. He had earrings all over here, his trousers, he had piercing, tattoo. Mariah, you, him, how? So his wife was asking, no, you know, she's just from Nigeria. So this kind of thing is still attracting her. Is it true that opposites do attract in the real sense of things?
All right, first of all, I need to put a caveat out. It's not that you brought me here because I'm a bad guy. First caveat, that it's not that you brought me here because but it's that I've been in the system, and as a man, I was brought up with about 7 older sisters.
Oh, wow.
And so somehow I can say I know where bodies are buried.
Okay.
Okay. Good girls like bad guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then there's this thing about psychology of the alpha female.
You're my uncle.
An alpha female will not want a weakling.
Okay.
Okay, and then an alpha male, because of ego, will not want an alpha female. So he would want someone he can subdue. So an alpha female knows that if she takes somebody that is less than her, when she's talking with somebody that is on her level, they will play down on her partner. So she will want somebody higher than her. So most times you find, which is why a relationship with somebody, and I mean no disrespect, they said don't be unevenly yoked. If you are a deeper life, straight, and you now start dating a guy that is wild, one thing must give. The wild guy has to step down, tone down, and become SU. Or you would have to go wild. What then happens is, most times, this wild girl meets an SU or a straight guy and turns his head upside down. If the guy feels, man, so this is what I've been missing, you can't get him out of there. The problem is, it is not only just sex that holds a relationship. Like she said, a lot of men want respect. And so that respect can come from a girl that is wild.
They know how to.
So, exactly what you just said now, they know how to. So, which is why some side chicks actually keep husbands better than the...
another level.
Yeah,
Wait. That's why some side chicks actually keep husbands better than the wives that are married to.
They become wives.
So this is it. The man is afraid to go home because every time he gets home, you're nagging, it's quarrels and all those. So he would rather reduce the hours of contact. So the hours of contact is he closes from work at 5, he doesn't get home till about 8. He can manage between that time till he sleeps.
Let me pause you for a quick second. You see, when you say nagging, the wife is at home, they don't make the house comfortable.
It happens both ways anyway, it's both ways.
Yes, that we hear that a lot. But in a situation where the woman she doesn't nag, she's just a humble, quiet, Christ-loving woman. Doesn't like wahala. She just does her thing, provides there's food in the house. But the man's issue is that she's not exciting enough. But she's been trained to be a nice, supportive wife. That's how she was trained.
It means that, you know, there are some people, they look for one thing. We know guys who marry a plus-size woman.
When, in actual fact,
the person they like is a slim girl.
Please, you see this man, this man. You marry a fiery person and you complain to the one outside. She's too hot, she's too fiery.
Dominating.
I just need a place where I can find peace. You give me peace.
God bless
the
you.
one at home is peaceful. She's too boring. She said, I just need some excitement.
What do you want?
Okay.
This is what we want. Respect. So you might find a person who cooks, does everything, but it is not what you want. Let me bring this home. You find a guy, he has a good job, has everything, and so some Igbo guys even do it a lot. Many that I know, they will tell some of their wives, "You can't work.
Stay at home.
Stay at home."
Yes.
Because he doesn't like a woman going to work for another man.
Yeah.
When you find out from those kind of men, is that they don't know how to treat women. So he's thinking of how another man would treat his wife at work. Because he doesn't know how to treat women.
I don't think that men want different things at the same time. So we want different things.
We'll come to
everybody wants different things at the same time.
I wouldn't say that. Respect to a man is major, and it still depends on what the man defines as respect. So, but the thing for me is, I want to bring it to you, sir. I know that in my journey, that men are risk takers, more like gamblers. They want to be able to keep chasing you, even because I don't want to take it to marriage.
Thrill of the chase.
The thrill of the chase is what really keeps them going after these so-called bad girls. Because, you know, with those girls, you're not certain if you have them, if they are there with you, if they will stay with you or not. But then when you now have that very good girl who you know that even if I beat her, she'll come back. Is that some of the reasons that they go after these bad girls? So-called bad girls.
Well, for some, they are in the kind of business that require a hard babe.
Okay.
They're in the kind of business that requires a hard babe. There are certain people who you're dating. This one, somebody sent me a message from one of these private universities he's broke, he needs so and so, he wants money, if I can send him money. And this was in the day of Facebook. Sent the message to me, I was very touched. And just before I sent this thing, his girlfriend sent me a message and said, they're trying to scam you. Hey. That is what he and his friends do. And I just needed to tell you this. Don't give him any money. Wow. That's a good woman, right?
With a bad guy.
With a bad guy. But you know, there are some who will even share in the money.
Before.
All right?
Yeah. So I read this article from you, your blog years back. You spoke about spec, the speckless man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that one goes for anything.
Yes. And you said it's good to have a man that has a spec.
Yes.
You know he likes fat. You know that if you see him with a slim, nothing is going to happen. How does that relate with generalizing personality type? Is there a spec for a man that some men just go for bad girls or some men just go for good girls? So there's really nothing you can do about it.
Okay, so sometimes you find guys that go for bad girls. Because this spec thing is true. You are a slave of habit. And you like comfort. You like to go to where you know. So treading where you know helps you. So I know that this girl won't take this nonsense. They don't go there. Guys who, maybe you're talking to a girl and you say, I'll see you today, and you don't see her that day. Then I'll see you tomorrow, and you don't see her that day. Then you call her again and she cuts you off. That kind of girl, they don't want that kind of, but the one that allows it, they can continue to roll with that type of person.
So I've rolled my eyes. We have
to round up this segment. But
so to bring it home with that is that the spec thing is a definite pattern that somebody has.
So
So if the person likes women who are intelligent, some wives that marry them, when they see them talking with people who are not too sharp.
They won't be
they know they're not bothered.
Like you.
But as soon as you start relating with brains, she will come.
Are you sure? Before something would happen.
And sometimes she then introduces herself.
Hi,
how are you?
So observing the traits.
So you need to know your husband's spec.
Yes.
So you know when to get
your
close.
husband's spec.
Okay, now we have to round up the segment, but I want you to talk to young women who would like to settle down, would like to find a partner. But they've been good girls of their lives. They've been looking for men in churches, in the good places, where they told us they find good men. So talk to them today.
You have to go out. You see, if Ruth had taken the story of, because I'm a widow, I have to stay indoors, she wouldn't have met Boaz.
My uncle.
She wouldn't have met Boaz. And the mother-in-law also advised her on what to do. Go out there. Back in the days, right, shepherds looked for water to feed their flocks. And so that's why they always mill around. And the transatlantic and all those traders back then, they go with camels and go back and forth. And so they look for places to water their flocks and feed and give water to their camels. So they will hang out where wells are. So the women in Israel who wanted to, they positioned themselves at the well.
Positioning.
So now, if you don't go to the well, nobody finds you.
Right. So the well now, in today's big clubs,
anywhere the men are.
Okay, all right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll throw in another hot topic for you. And later, we'll now talk to Alibaba about politics, life, and the whole work. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Hey, thanks for staying with us. This bad girl matter. Anyway, let's move on. So the baby mama business caught our attention also on social media, where some group of young ladies came together to say that fornication is a hindrance to enjoying the blessings of motherhood. So we asked, should there be marriage before children, especially in cases where there's no husband and you want to have children? Should you be allowed to at least have your children in peace? Join the conversation on 070-806-6814. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We're not in any way trying to encourage fornication because that's not our job. But the reality is that there are women out there in their 40s, mid-40s, going on to 50, and they feel like, listen, I would like to have a child. You know, they've not settled down. But society frowns at these kinds of things. But we hear of baby mama drama in the US and all that, and it's gradually creeping into our society. Should we accept it or find other means of solving this problem by letting people like you have 2-3 wives? I don't know.
Well, the issue of baby mamas or single ladies who then want to have children, it's not compulsory to have children. It's not compulsory at all. But for the ones that decide that they want to have children, if they're not ready for the man drama, somebody who's not ready for man drama, that I know I can't stay with a man, but I can bring up a good child. It's not true. The myth of a child must be brought up well by both parents is that sometimes when it's both parents, the father is absent, even when they're at home. So bringing up a child really doesn't require the physical husband. Some of our mothers did better than complete homes. You see a woman who has 4 children and the husband is not there and raised them up, and the children grew up to be really well educated, well placed, and are doing very well. Unlike people who then are married for 45 years, the children, they raise these children well, and they turn out to be robbers, turn out to be...
Anyway, this thing came up one time with some of my family members who were gisting, and one of my sisters-in-law was saying she was telling one of her friends, they're in their 40s, going on 50, and she says, just go and look for a man, you know, and have a child by him, and take care of your child. You have your money, you don't need the man. She said when the friend left, her mom called her and said, we're done here. Whose husband she should go and have the child with? Is it with your own husband? Do you understand? So the thing is, thank God now, say science has helped you.
You can
go and save your eggs.
You can buy
today.
the man products.
You can save your eggs today, and then through IVF,
or
you
buy
have your child.
Or buy sperm,
Or you can adopt. So the story of fornication and, you know...
You don't have to go through that route.
You don't have to go through that route. If it's about a child that you want, please do not have a child. Do not go break up someone's home because you want your own happiness.
And it's not every single person that we see that had a child because they want to have a child out of wedlock. Some didn't plan it, and they get pregnant, and it's like, I'll deal with it. There's a movie that I just saw, The Baby Mama from South Africa. You haven't seen
the movie yet.
It's It will soon be out, so if you want to go see it, you have to go see it quick. This is not a promo, but it is, in seeing the movie, you now see the reason that make a lot of people become single mothers. Sometimes it is leaked condoms. It's not that the person didn't protect themselves. Sometimes it is wrong timing. Sometimes it is a case of the guy saying, I don't want anymore. So it wouldn't have been that if, sometimes, most times it's after you have broken up.
That you now found out.
That you now found out that you're pregnant.
I know that, you know, when you look at religion, religion has provided, has made provisions for you to be lawfully married before you have children. And so when you go outside that box, it seems like you are not a religious person and then you are being judged. But I also know that the world has evolved and cultures are mixing. People are now beginning to find out what works for them exactly. And like I told somebody, it's not compulsory to be married. So if it works for you, fine. If it doesn't work for you, fine. And I was reading the scriptures the other day. I noticed the genealogy of Jesus had Rahab. You know Rahab now?
Of course.
Rahab, who was a...
That helped the guys.
She was a prostitute, she was a liar, but she was the grand.
And David was a murderer.
Exactly, of Jesus. So, do we take away religion from all of this?
Oh yes, we have to, because the thing is, religion now has, in a way, outlived its usefulness. Let me say this. The same pastor that tells you you cannot fornicate because it is in the Bible will tell you accept gays and lesbians. But it's not in the Bible.
Okay.
So it's a very sensitive issue, but it's just clear.
Let me take this call. Timothy, are you there?
Yes, I'm still there.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
Sir.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, okay. Clap for them.
First time caller.
Okay, the issue of the aspect, if you have to look at it in our own Nigeria level, most of these guys, most of them are determined to have a very good home. But due to some circumstances, everything just turned upside down. I would like to agree with what Ali Baba is saying. I know he's talking from experience. But the only advice I could give to this guy is, number one, be watchful. Number two, take your time to determine your life, no matter what. As far as you are determined, you take it. That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I believe our society should be more accommodative of baby mamas, especially let's even say those that it happened on them. Even for those that decide to, they don't need to do it hiding. Because a lot of times people that now go ahead to try to have a child out of the fact that they realize, I'm getting old, have to hide to do it, be telling funny stories out there. Can we be more accommodating and less hypocritical as a society and accept everybody with open hands, be who you want to be? Because sometimes it is lonely. I was talking to a single lady in her 40s and she was like, Tokpa, you cannot understand. You sleep alone, you turn and there is you can't even pick anybody you can't call anybody.
Empty
it is
pillows.
lonely. And when she was talking, I never thought of it. Because for every time I had my parents or my husband, but she was lonely. She would give anything to have a child, someone that you say, this is mine. So why would society now look at her like she's doing something wrong? Please, let's not do it anymore.
And when you kick against baby mamas, it means that you are encouraging abortion.
Invariably, sort of.
Kind of. Because when the shame you throw on them gets so strong, they will begin to abort. And who knows, maybe the person that will find the cure of cancer.
I think we have a different.
I think we can round up on that. I think that I like the way we conclude.
No. The other league of baby mamas are those ones that feel, if I grab this child, then I'm made. Which is not what you should encourage. Yeah. It's not the one because the guy doesn't want to accept the pregnancy, but the ones that say you get it. The ones that says, okay, this man has a good job and everything. Once I have this baby,
but there are not many of
not
those.
even celeb. No, not celeb. All celebs don't have money. Celebs have fame.
Exactly.
Celebs have fame.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs have money.
Okay, I want us to move into a different angle. We've talked about this, but you posted something recently about the building collapse, which I'd like to switch over.
Okay.
The fact that because people died, young children died,
Our condolences.
I'm sorry, I'm doing a switch, but you said that we shouldn't just blame the government that we are also... I want you to expatiate on that.
You see, there's need for us to blame ourselves. We finished an event at St. Saviour's one time, and we're about driving out, and this man drives against oncoming traffic on one way and blocks the traffic and wants to turn into the next street and holds up the whole traffic. Responsible man.
Responsible looking.
Yeah, all right? So I came down and I was telling him, look, let this man come out, move back. You have to go back. You know, people were telling me, oh, God, it's just one, just let him go. Just let him go so that we can go. You're holding up everybody. They were blaming me. Same thing with like El-Rufai. El-Rufai feels like the standard of education in Kaduna was falling. And then in checking, he sees that there are teachers who need to be taught. Yeah. And so he decides he has
to be sacked.
He needs to now deal with that. But in this process of doing it, NUT was on strike, the Association of Teachers, everybody was protesting. Oh, he can't do that, he can't throw people when there's no job and everything. He can't. You see, it's the same thing that we do. This man tried to do it, Oshomole. Yes. But because elections were coming, he dropped the idea.
Before, they won't vote him.
They won't vote for him because this is something that is wrong. Okay, they've come and marked the house. But instead of the people to move out, they're still there.
Believing.
It's not like it's a computer you unmark when it's marked.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Before I go on, have you noticed that the rule that says that if you eat a lot of pounded yam, you gain weight, didn't work for the other guy? Some people are lucky. You know, why I say that is that I grew up in a polygamous home. We had several brothers, sisters, cousins that were living with us. And every time they come, I was the lankiest guy. Then we had a cousin, Tobori. Tobori was like the man in white. But every time meat gets missing, somebody's food gets missing, they accuse Tobori. Because to them, it's the one that eats the most. But you saw the guy that was looking lanky. They served him 3 plates of rice already here. But if he walks in, he's the one that will ask, oh God, do you still want to eat something? But that is on the side. So, I want to tell you about certain tricks that I learned, or certain things that I learned from a simple story.
That's Alibaba in his element.
Doing his thing.
Back to social issues, because people hold you responsible for these kinds of conversations. Okay. You know, they expect that you're an influencer. People listen to you.
But I'm not a saint.
Yeah, you're not, of course. You know, and it's important that you notice that. You know that. But we've seen the elections, the way it's gone, how politicians have used our young people, how people have died. In your view, why is it so difficult for people to just hand over power to the next generation?
Okay. You know, guaranteeing certainty is the reason a lot of politicians do what they do. If a politician is sure that a law will stop him from staying in office, he will change it, like Mugabe. The senators and House of Reps members know that if they change laws that make it harder for them to get into office, then they'll be weeded out. Which is why they won't pass any law. They had 4 years to make sure that we can get to electronic voting, proper electronic voting. You can vote from your phone, vote from an ATM, vote from anywhere. They won't pass that bill because it will shortchange them. Just the same way that Buhari didn't assent to that bill that wanted to move governorship election first and then presidency next, because it won't pay him. You see, politics is about favoring your interests.
First.
So, in favoring your interest, a lot of these politicians do it for vote. If what you ask them to do will not get them votes in the next election. They won't do it.
But I want you to talk about leadership, and I'll come to Mariam. Because we've been talking about young people need to come out there, and we saw them come out in the elections, and nobody really voted for them.
They can't, because the thing, you have a faulty constitution. So your constitution, first of all, has denied them empowerment. Because it has empowered people who steal.
Who have the money to spend.
This election that you had now, it's not really about APC or PDP. The election was the elite and how you have reduced how they were living. So the elites, the way they were chopping before, they can't chop again. You have a friend who works in an agency that has good money. You want to buy a property, you tell him, I want to buy this property. The agency has Parastatal has about like 12 accounts. Only 4 is known to the accountant and the minister. So the other accounts, he can take money from there, give to you. You buy the property, sell it, and return the money. If you don't return the money, all well and good. Now, they can't do that. And then there are a lot of them who now have monies tied up in different banks that have called the bank manager, don't link that account to BVN. Don't link that account, just wait, let this man win. When this man wins, then we'll link the account. So there are many of them. People say, oh, you're talking because you work for them. Don't you work for them? Look, I'm like a newspaper house. If you bring advert for APC, we'll take it. If you bring advert for PDP, we'll take it. Like during the Jonathan election, I did his campaign, did his fundraising, came to do Buhari's own in Lagos. Somebody now told me, Ali, what are you doing? I said, when they go to TVC to place advert, did they say, no, you can't place advert, it's only PDP advert that will take.
I'm a bit afraid for Nigeria. You said something about basic foundation and education between age 1 to 5. We know that there are millions of Nigerians between that age that are getting no education, no training. Some of them are already on the street hawking. You see some of them late at night. And the time that they do get the education, maybe they're around 10, they finally get into primary school. And they get into primary school, they're learning it in their indigenous languages, you know. So, is there any hope in the future? Okay. Because look at what we're bringing.
This is what politicians have done. They've strangled that hope, first of all, by not educating them. Because the thing is that with education, your aspirations increase. Without education, your aspirations are limited. And so what they need to cater and provide for you are also limited. So without education, you don't want great airports. You are not traveling anyway. Without education, you are not looking for a job that will pay you 300,000 per month. If you get something, which is why they can distribute wheelbarrows and feel like it's a big deal. But the thing is that if people got education and the person has an OND, what would he do with a wheelbarrow?
Nothing.
So they know.
You give him noodles and give him eggs.
So they know. So they know that the more education you give to these people,
more empowered,
the more empowerment they will have. Which is why it's like, so what is making these people want great education? They now know, okay, history. These people are learning of all the people in the past who were great from education and all of that stuff. First, take history out of school, please. Let them not. And then civic responsibility. Don't teach civics again. There's no need to teach, because when you teach them, then they know the obligation of government and also. So this is it. It is to begin to, which is why even the UNICEF says that you should devote a huge chunk to education, because it is that child that you train that becomes the future of your country. They know, the politicians know that when that okay, did you see how the results changed from 22 million votes?
Yes, to hundreds of thousands.
To hundreds of thousands, because the education is now clear that politicians live and swim in illiteracy.
Let me take a few tweets, please.
So Garth here says, the creator who has blessed humans and has allowed humans to multiply has said that anyone who wants to take part in the multiplication must get married. I strongly suggest we must obey Jehovah. Olawale says, we just want to wake up and find ourselves in the world of our dreams. Never want to build, but we rush to reaction in frustration and we rush into failures. The Ono says, a bad girl has nothing to hide. If things go bad, it's as expected. Bad girls make you laugh and you live freely with them.
Okay, so I want to read from Debbie Felix. Okay, someone is saying that called everybody's names, says that maybe the problem of Nigeria is the sun. That's Andrew Instrom. Said the environment is very hot. It slows the human response. If you check smartphone, they lag because it's very, very hot. Whereas in cool areas, it's sharper. So
how hot is Dubai?
Very hot.
Exactly.
Dubai is a desert. It is hot, but these guys decided.
Because they cover. You know,
By the way, we can't compare ourselves to these guys because they started building long ago. The Tower of Babel was one of the things built in the Middle East. So these people have started, Phoenicians, the Phoenicians and all of them have started building a long time ago. So their architectural prowess can't be compared. Where did we have the first story building in Nigeria? In Badagry. Was in 1920-something or so. But they have started building before we even...
Let me take a few tweets from you, Mariam. You have any?
Okay, I have...
So I wanted to ask quickly, how do we change? I think our major problem is mindset.
Yes.
A lot of us are in that place where we don't see us changing. You know, over the years, when all those countries like I want to call China, I want to call India, I want to call Malaysia, they were able to, you know, change the mindset of their people. When they want to do their adverts, they show the beautiful places in their place and everything. But when we want to talk about our people, we talk down on ourselves. Is there a way we as Nigerians who believe that we can make it and change our mindset?
You see, we have to start celebrating excellence and stop celebrating mediocrity. The way we celebrate, in this Lagos, there was somebody who was dropped for another person as minister.
Why?
Bode Augusto, somebody who had fledgling accountancy business, chartered accountants, great guy. They dropped him for somebody who didn't even have a degree. So this is it. It is, we celebrate people who do not have qualification. We keep dropping standards. Now JAMB is coming down to 120, 130.
To get into school.
To get into university. Now, when people who got 250 didn't read law. Now, somebody who has 150 is reading law. Have you seen the quality of graduates? Keeps dropping.
I met a graduate recently and I was really, I mean, she was speaking English to me and she was just speaking a different language. I'm thinking, really, are you speaking English? But we have to round up, unfortunately, Alibaba. I need you to just drop, tell us what you're working on, what you're doing.
Okay.
Let people look out for you. And also, some word of wisdom for young people because we are very worried about young people in this country.
Well, for the young people, get education.
Okay.
Get education. And that's why they said, wisdom is the principal thing. Whatever you do, get wisdom. If you don't get wisdom, that means you don't have knowledge. So get knowledge. Okay. Get knowledge. Once you get knowledge, your opportunities then open up. You see, there's some people who just need to learn to read and write. And they begin to see opportunities. Because first of all, if you don't know how to read and write, you walk past vacancy, you won't know that's what's written there. So if you can't even read and write, somebody will sell you. Which was what started Civil War. An educated Ojukwu went to negotiate with some Hausa military men. And by the time they put where they're in, fought with, after that, henceforth, the Hausa man said, yeah, Aburu Accord, we signed. And then when the issue started and Ojukwu started insisting on this thing, they're like, we didn't sign that. Because an education helps you, empowers you, and prepares you for the future. It is like, education is like the 5 maidens who carried extra oil. Not having education is like the 5 maidens that didn't carry extra oil. So every youth must get extra oil.
Is there anything else you're looking out for you? Anything you're looking out for you? They're doing?
Oh, no, well, just the 30th anniversary. We're still celebrating, so we're going to London to celebrate. But we're doing it in a big way. But you know, all the other comedy shows we've been having in London and all of that, we just go there, t-shirt, jeans, and this one we're doing it like Oscars. So everybody that is coming there is wearing a dinner or tuxedo. It's red carpet.
All right. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We appreciate it. We'll definitely keep us posted on that. We'll look at it on Instagram. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.